Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to knit this super easy and super cute hat. It's a great pattern for beginners. If you know how to purl and how to knit, you can do this hat. It's really easy. I will show you step by step how to knit this beautiful and easy hat. And now I will show you what we need. Today I'm using a 10mm 16-inch knitting needle. We will also need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, a marker, and I'm using a round counter just to make sure I know which round I'm at, but this is of course optional. This is a great for beginners. It's from Clover, but you don't have to use it. It just makes it easier if you don't know exactly which round you add. And the yarn I'm using today is Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick, and they have those in so many different beautiful colors. This is a size 6 yarn, a super bulky, and a recommended needle is a 9mm, but we will be using a 10mm. And now let's get started. We'll start with casting on our stitches. The first thing I did is measured about 60 inches. This is what we're going to need to cast on our stitches. And here's our yarn now, and we can start casting on. So all I'm going to do is just make a loop like this, put my needle through. Now I will go with my thumb to the right side here, and I will grab my thumb and go from the left to the right, just like this, and we have a loop around our thumb. Now I will use my index finger and just go from the bottom to top, just like that. And now we are holding the yarn with our fingers here, and we can start casting on. So I will go from under the loop on my thumb, but I'm holding the yarn here with my index finger, and now I'll go from the top to the bottom like that, and through the loop, and let it go and pull tight. And we will repeat this for a total of 40 stitches. So again, with the thumb from the left to the right, hold it, and with your index finger from bottom to top, just like that. And now again, we will go under, over, all the way through, let go, and pull tight. And we need to cast on a total of 40 stitches, and I will see you back at the end of this row. So just cast on 40 stitches. I just finished casting on my 40 stitches. Just make sure the stitches are not twisted. And now we can start connecting both sides so we can work in the round. So I will push those stitches up just like that. And now grab both strands of yarn like that and work one knit stitch. So in the very first stitch, insert your needle, grab the yarn, go around, under, and take off. And now we connected both sides. Just grab your stitch marker, lay it on the right needle, and now we can start working in the round. We will start our first round. What I just wanted to mention is that I'm holding my yarn in the right hand. I'm working the English style, but of course, if you use the continental style, this is where you hold the yarn in your left hand. This is totally fine too. The stitches stay the same, but just that you know that I'm working the English style. So let's get started. The first stitch we are going to do is a purl stitch. So take the yarn to the front, just like that. Insert your needle from the right to the left through the stitch, yarn over, and pull through, and take off. The next stitch is a knit stitch. So take the yarn to the back. Normally you would work the knit stitch like this, but we will work in the back loop only. It's super easy too. You just go in the back loop, just like this. Grab the yarn over, and finish your knit stitch. And now again a purl stitch. So the yarn back to the front, make a purl stitch, and again the next stitch is a knit stitch in the back loop only, just like this. And we will repeat this all the way around until you reach your stitch marker. So one purl stitch, one knit stitch in the back loop only, all the way around, and I will see you back as soon as we hit our stitch marker. I'm here at the end of my round. We have 2 stitches left, but what I wanted to show you, it's really important that we don't work 2 single stitches. We connected in the round with 2 strands of yarn, and those are the 2 strands of yarn. So don't increase. What we are going to do, we are just going to make a knit stitch through the 2 stitches. So just like this, you will work a normal knit stitch. So from the left to the right, we have both loops on the needle, yarn over, and just work a normal knit stitch. And now you can see we just have 1 loop, and the next rounds we don't have to watch out for anything, we just keep knitting. The next row is just a repeat of the first row, which is super easy. Like you can see, I will show you how the purls look like and how the knit stitches look like. The purls have a little bump here on the front, and the knit stitches have a little V. That's how you know which ones are your purls and which ones are your knit stitches. So the little purl here, the little bump, it's a purl stitch, and the little V next to it is a knit stitch. So when you have a purl stitch, you will work a purl stitch. Where you have a knit stitch, we will work the knit stitch in the back loop only. So the first stitch, it's a purl stitch. So work a purl stitch. And the next stitch is a little V, so we will work a knit stitch in the back loop only. So just like that, work your knit stitch, and again a purl stitch and a knit stitch in the back loop only. We will repeat this round in total of 6 rounds. This is round 2, so you will have to finish this one and 4 more rounds, and we will be done with our brim. But you will repeat this all the way around, just a purl stitch and a knit stitch in the back loop only, and I will see you back in just a moment. I just finished my 6 rounds with the purls and the knit stitches, and this is how my brim looks like. Now it's going to be super easy. The stitch pattern we will be using is a 3 round repeat, but it's super easy. What we are going to do now for the first round is just work a normal knit stitch. So super easy. It's just 1 knit stitch all the way around. So just like that, work your knit stitch into the next stitch, also a knit stitch, and we will repeat this all the way around. It's super chill now, so all you have to do is just keep knitting all the way around until you reach your stitch marker, and I will see you back in just a second. So just 1 knit stitch all the way around. I'm here almost at the end of my first round, and all we did was knit stitches. Now grab the stitch marker, put it on your right needle. And now we will start the second round. Like I said, it's a 3-round repeat. So for the second round, we're going to do the same thing. So row 1 is knit 1 all the way around, and row 2 is the same. So just 1 knit stitch all the way around. It's so easy and so much fun to knit. So just knit all the way around in every stitch, 1 knit stitch, and I will see you back once you reach your stitch marker. I just finished my second round, and now we will start the third round. The third round is also super easy. What we are going to do, we will knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, and you will repeat this all the way around. So the first stitch will always be a knit stitch, the second one a purl stitch, and that's all we have to do all the way around. So a knit stitch, purl 1, knit 1. Repeat this all the way around, and this is your third round. So knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, and purl 1. And I will see you back in just a moment. I'm here at the end of my third round, and this is our 3-round repeat. So it's the first round is knit 1 all the way around. The second round we will do the same, so just a knit stitch all the way around, and the third round is knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. And we are now at round 9. The first 6 rounds worked with the brim, and then 3 more rounds for the pattern itself. So we are at round 9, and we will repeat those 3 rows until we reach 29 rounds. And I have my round counter here. This makes it easier for me, or if you're a beginner, just write it down. And now all we have to do is repeat the 3 rounds. So 2 rounds of knit stitches, and then knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, all the way around until you reach your 29 round. And I will see you back and show you how my hat looks like. I repeated the rows over and over, and this is how my hat looks like. Here you can see the beautiful stitches, and I will measure it out for you just that you know how high my hat is. We have a total of 8 inches. Of course, if you want to have it longer, just keep repeating those 3 rows if you want it as a long beanie. And I will finish off now because this is the height I need for my head, and I will show you how to do that. To cast off, what I'm going to do first is leave a little bit of a longer tail of my yarn, then cut the yarn, and we can grab our yarn needle. I will be using the yarn needle to cast off the stitches in a super simple way. So just like this, and now I will show you how to cast off the stitches. We will be using the stitches on the left needle, so you can pull the right needle a little bit out so the stitches don't come off. And now just push the stitches to the front, grab your yarn needle, insert in the stitch, and take off. So just like this, I'm always doing 3 stitches at the same time. Of course, make sure you're not going to drop any stitches. Just take your time. You can do 1 stitch and pull through. This is totally up to you. So just take your stitches off and pull the yarn through, and repeat this all the way around until you only have 1 stitch left, and I will show you how to finish off. I'm here and I have only 4 more stitches left. So just like we did with the other stitches, take them all off. Here is my last one. Now we can take the knitting needles and move them. And all we have to do now is just pull the yarn. So just pull it and you will see we will have a tiny hole left, but don't worry, we will be sewing it closed. So you can see we have a tiny hole here, and now I will show you how to sew it in. So just take your needle and go through. I always like to do it 2-3 times from different directions. So I will go from the other side, pull through, and you can see the hole is getting smaller and smaller. So I think 1 or 2 more stitches. So just go through, pull tight, and now the hole is gone. And what I'm going to do now is just grab my yarn needle, or just do 1 more extra stitch if you would like to. I always like to make sure it's not going to open up on me. So just like this. And now I will insert the needle through the top into the inside. So just pull it through like this and we can sew in our ends. So just turn your head around and just sew in your ends. What I always like to do is to make a couple of knots, which is also super easy. So just insert the needle, make a loop. So here is our loop. Just go through and pull tight. What I'm going to do is make 1 more knot just to make sure it's not going to open up on me. But like I said, this is totally up to you how you want to finish off. If you don't like to make knots on your ends, this is totally fine. So here's my second one, and now I'm going to sew in my end. And I have 1 more end left on the very beginning by our brim. I will just sew in both ends, and then our head is done. So just sew in your end. Once you are done doing this, we can cut the yarn. So just pull through and cut the yarn. And now I'm going to sew in the very first strand of yarn I have here. Once you're done sewing in all your ends, we are done. I attached a fox fur pom-pom on top. Of course, you can make one with the same yarn. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope to see you back soon.